Hello, welcome to episode 361 of the Drive the Green podcast. I'm your host, MattyB, joined in Studio K by Bronell Harvey Canup. On this episode, Rory McIlroy wins his second career Players' Championship with a Monday finish on St. Paddy's Day over JJ Spaun. Nice to get that out of the way nice and early before everyone goes to work. Great tournament. I have thoughts. Maybe the perfect Players' Championship tournament. We're going to talk about that.
Yourself, yeah.
We're also going to talk about Joaquin Niemann being the best player in the world, apparently, as he wins on the live. Phil has comments. Harv's created a Making the Cut for us this week, and plenty more to talk about. But before we do, we want to thank our sponsors, Player Golf, PLYRGolf.com. Use the promo code DriveTheGreen for 20% off your order. The Player Cup schedule for May and June was out last week, and now registration is open. So head to playergolf.com. It does redirect you to playerathletics.com. I found that out today.
Oh, nice.
So playergolf.com redirects you to playerathletics.com. You can go into the Player Cup tab, and you'll see all the tournaments that are currently available for registration, including our Player Cup shootout on May 10th at Harbor Golf Club in Elbow. So thanks to Player for their support. Also members of Team Callaway. I don't know, did we talk about, Bruno, you getting your hybrids last week? Or?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did. Yep.
Yeah, you got yours? It's a shame Akshay couldn't pull it out for Team Callaway this past weekend. But great showing by many of the Callaway crew. Just another reason why they're the best. We had our ball draft this past weekend. It was fueled by Churchill and a lawnmower keg, and yet again proves that the best way to enjoy lawnmower, it's great in a can, but it is the best out of a keg.
Yep.
You finish it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it took a little longer than normal, but
Well, it took so long because the tap broke.
yeah, it wasn't their fault. Yeah.
So we got the tap from Saskatchewan right after we picked up the keg. Churchill doesn't have taps, so we went and got a tap from, I don't know, some bar up there. Get it down here, and the little trigger just broke off.
About a quarter of the way through the keg, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that far.
yeah.
So then we had to get pliers, and we had to pull. There was a little plastic piece sticking out, so we had to pull it up to relieve the pressure to let it out.
Yeah.
And then with about
Jimmied
a quarter of the keg left, that broke. So then I had to screw a screw down into the plastic, and then use the pliers to pull that up. The only problem is it wouldn't push, it wouldn't let back down because the screw was in there. So I literally had to then quickly, as we're filling up containers,
Multiple pitchers. Yeah.
I would undo the screw and then jam that plastic piece back down in there to cut the seal off. So, but we did get all the beer out of there.
Yeah. Huge thanks to Churchill, and to that point about the tap beer, go into their tap room and have a beer there.
Yeah, have a black.
Because
Yes.
first of all, they have delicious beers on tap, multiple, and
Yes.
the food is quite good. I've heard.
Yes, Canup and I went there to eat. Yep.
You guys went there, and everyone I talked to says it's really good.
Yeah, it's quite good, quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
So make sure if you live in Saskatoon or in the area or even in town, looking for a place to go for lunch, head to Churchill Tap Room. We're not having Churchill's tonight because it is St. Patrick's Day. We don't have access to blacks. So we're having Guinness. And I'm going to try to split the G live on the show. Bronell says he's not going to because he wants to, quote unquote, savor it.
Well, I just wanted to last the show. Because Canup doesn't have any other drinks for us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you want me to do we just want
You got some ranch over there.
yeah, do we want 10
ranch
seconds
is
of
back.
silence while I try it, or are we just
10
wanna do-
seconds.
10 seconds.
I was just saying someone's going to do a Mecklenburg ad read while I'm trying to do this.
Not it.
Why don't you just do the ad read, and then when someone gets into their week,
Okay, fine. We're also members of the Mecklenburg Financial Group family. Again, as I'll say, it's like a standard ad read at this point. If you're looking for group benefits, group life insurance, personal life insurance, wow, just below the G.
Poorly
You did
judged.
it, though. They'll be happy that you did it in the ad read.
regarding your decision.
Life insurance needs, looking for investments. You're on your road to next year's RSP contributions. Reach out to them. They will look after you. Whether it's Rich, Wayne, Wayne's calling you up for a personal financial plan. No matter what you're looking for, they will help you out.
I reached out to Rich today because he handles my money and whatnot, and I just said, hey, what do I need for my taxes? And he just had everything figured out. He's like, well, nothing, because you didn't contribute anything this year, and the stuff you are contributing is in a TFSA. So just shut up and let me do my job, essentially.
I think I texted him.
But that's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't want to know about this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I gotta
don't care.
It's also hilarious that you said that because I text him every single year. Hey, should I be expecting a tax receipt? He's like, no, for the 4th year in a row. It's all in TFSAs. You don't need it. Okay, sure, thanks. I wish I was in a position where I could invest more than just TFSA contribution room, but here we are. So yeah, reach out to those guys. They'll look after you for sure. Who's going first in weeks? I'll go last.
I'll go
Friday
first.
had the best week.
Yeah, you go last.
Okay, I'm gonna do this while whoever goes.
I'll go first. It was a pretty quiet week for me, other than our baseball draft, which took up the whole weekend. Yeah, usual fun time, I guess, seeing those guys, and
Oh, that was putrid.
yeah, that's
Way
pretty
above
beer.
the G.
I believe it.
Barb hates dark beer.
It's the worst.
Guinness is so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Was there anything really highlighted by the weekend? Other like
Costco pizzas.
Oh,
Those
we're
are
talking about
good.
draft?
yeah, those
Yeah,
are quite
the
good.
Costco Chicago deep dish pizzas.
Best frozen pizza there is.
Oh,
By miles.
I don't know who, like Tim, our guy in our draft, picked them up. I don't know if you'd ever have them before.
Yeah,
They're incredible. They come in 2 packs.
they're the same as Little Caesars lunch special.
Which is the best pizza deal?
It's got that crunchy, crispy, cheesy outside.
So
Yeah.
they come in a pan. You literally take them out of the wrapping and put it in the pan. Into the like you don't have to put it on a tray, nothing. It comes in a tray in a little pan. You just put it in there 21 minutes at 425, comes out perfect. All 4 pieces exactly the same. Yeah, it was incredible.
Remember that?
Yeah. We played poker both nights. That went always way later than you think it's gonna go. Like
And what was the point of the Super Turbo the second night?
it didn't. It
That
wasn't.
game might have been longer.
It might have been. Even though the blinds are increasing every 5 minutes.
They were like 32-64 by the end.
Well, and the issue is in this, especially in like $20 games with your buddies, there's just Bronell hates this, but there's so many calls that shouldn't be calls, and it's just casual poker's off the rails. If you're any type of poker player, it's best to just avoid those games.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you're a good poker player, self-proclaimed.
Yeah,
So,
certainly.
did you win any of
I won the
these?
first night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I won the first one. Yeah.
And then
He lucked his way to
the
first
second
one.
night we had all 10 played, and there was 3 left, and I just was like, and Hard was like waiting to drive me home, so I was like, I should just go all in, and then I got caught. But I mean, I could have grinded out and won the second game too.
Yeah, but that would have made up for you not deserving to win the first game.
I didn't deserve to win the first game in a sense, but I also did deserve it.
Okay.
But yeah, so stayed up super late, and then I had to coach at 8 a.m. on Saturday, which was not enjoyable. But last game of the year for the U9s had to go, ended up tying. My kid got 2, so it was worth going.
Yeah.
Yeah, U11's got 2 games, or hopefully 3 games left if we keep winning. But
Nice.
baseball's starting up.
We'll just talk about the draft because you mentioned getting up. Well, the draft happened to be at my house. I was hosting this year, so we have all these guys there, and so I'm sleeping in my own bed. And one of the issues I have with that is when we're out on, like, we've gone to Phoenix for this trip. We go to cabins. We do all this stuff. When you're not in your own bed, you wake up earlier. You're getting up, and I'm a big FOMO guy. So like both days, I roll out of bed. Like I set an alarm. I'm sleeping in my own bed. I roll out after sleeping for 5 hours. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm up early enough. I get up and like everyone's up. And so I'm just like instantly like, oh man, I shouldn't have slept that long.
Well, we stay up till 3, but then
Yeah.
Everyone's up at
still
7.
gets up at 7 because they're used to it.
Was your family home?
Just my wife, she stayed there. Kicked the kids out, and then I tried to, not force her, but like influence her to also stay at my parents' house in the same city. She's like, I am not sleeping in my own bed when I'm here in the city. And I obviously wasn't offering to get him a hotel room, so she slept there.
Yeah.
She drove us around the one night. We had a van, so she drove us around, which was also hilarious because the one night we come back from the bar, she's driving a van and she's walking in with just a train of 10 dudes getting out of this van into our house. I'm like, hopefully no one's ring doorbells picking this thing up. So that's okay. She's all right with that joke. Go ahead, Rona.
Yeah, sorry, I can't remember what I was going to say next.
Probably just booze count.
Yeah, Churchill boost count. So I ended up with 33 this week.
Yeah.
I had it at 10-15. 10-15. So
Yeah. Spoiler, I had 32, so I think we're probably right.
And then I ended up having 4 Sunday. I went and played hockey. And a few beers after there. So
Good 4 to take the edge off.
well, 3 tall
Last-
boys. So
last
that's
eight.
4.
You know what?
It's 5. But
One of the guys at baseball draft said, like, and I think he's right, like, you're better off just staying up and not drinking than going to bed when you're really drunk. Like, he was,
like if you're drunk, just
if
stop
you're
and
drunk,
stay
just
up.
stop and stay up versus go to bed when you're wasted. And I think he's bang on.
I think he might be bang on.
Because I stopped drinking early both nights and just stayed up late, and I was fine both days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's there's that fine line. I think when you are drunk and you go to bed, I think that it's more 4 hours of sleep is better than like 6. Because like once you get to like 6, 7, 8 hours almost, I almost feel worse.
Well, I think he's right.
Yeah, like
What?
you want like a
You
small
want
amount
to
of
kind
sleep.
of be a little bit wasted
You want
still when you
all
wake
of
up.
it. You want all the sleep you can get.
I don't think
I
so.
agree with
The
that.
more you sleep, the more hungover you get.
Yeah,
Oh.
for sure.
Yeah,
The
100%.
better- the
Because,
better
like,
I
here's the
Because
thing.
your sleep is worse. The deep sleep is the first 4 hours. Then you wake up, you gotta piss. You never go back to sleep. You're hungover. Just get up.
And,
I
like,
don't have to wake up and go pee like you. No, that's the thing. I can just go, just sleep.
Yeah, I think.
but think about it. On nights that you went out drinking super late and got wasted and you slept like 3-4 hours, yes, you'd probably still blow over if you drove that morning. But then usually those happen on nights that you have like a Caesar or something in the morning, and then it just gets you through. You never have that bad hangover where
Yeah.
if you drink going out on a Friday, drink till 2 a.m., sleep till 10, the hangover's already there. You're never out sleeping it.
Yes, I completely agree. Like I was
Whatever.
slept for 4 hours both nights or 5 hours both nights. I was in way better shape than if I went out and absolutely got hammered and then slept till like noon the next day. That whole Saturday's toast. You just feel like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just get up and go again.
Yeah.
Plus, when you're day
Debatable.
drinking, you're never really that drunk.
No, you're just sipping all day.
Yeah. So maybe that's part of it.
I wasn't drunk
That's the
either.
player cup. But
I was tired.
Unless it's the
I
flavor.
wasn't drinking either day.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't drunk either day.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just tired.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I'll go next. You done?
Yep. I guess so. That's just a good one.
Not a ton for me. I know I kind of missed last week, but the only thing of note I already said last week. Kid ended up playing in the city finals for elementary school. Ended up winning, so that was kind of neat for him. They didn't get a chance to do it last year because the strikes.
Mhm.
Oh,
teacher
that.
strikes. So it was nice for them to be able to get a chance of doing that this year. The only thing really of note is made a little appointment today with a furnace company, heating company, to come and just look at our just maintenance, right? Trying to get ahead of some stuff. The water heater has been just taking a little bit longer than normal to heat up. So I decided to call preventative maintenance. Hey, come on down, take a look at our furnace, do our hot water heater. We haven't done anything since we've been here. And yeah, perfect. Scheduled for Friday. Come home, have supper, try to do the dishes. Nothing. So I think I gotta call them tomorrow and see if they can change Friday's appointment to tomorrow, hopefully. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, they didn't come here out today?
No,
I wasn't paying
I
attention.
scheduled until Friday.
Oh,
They're-
okay.
they
And
are
it
coming
went
Friday,
today.
and it went today. So we'll
Cold
see.
showers, eh?
We'll see. Yeah, maybe it'll become a thing for longer than a week. Who knows?
I did it for like 4 days. That's the bar, bud.
4 drinks, so heavy week for me. Gets me to 32 on the year.
Tied
That is
Ronell
beat up.
Sunday.
I'll go next. So I was also in that baseball draft. I do want to point out that I am projected to win at this point. It's not going to happen. There's just no chance.
You were projected to win last year, I think, at 1.2.
Was I? Like right out of the gates? I don't
Well,
think so.
I don't know, midway through maybe when you were leading.
Yeah, when I was when Judge didn't start sucking. But anyways, couple other things happened. So ask a question to you guys. Like, I think I'm the worst at pulling out kids' teeth on earth. Like, I just have all
They
I
gotta
do
be
is-
loose enough.
Well, that might be part of the problem. I'm going in there a little early. But like, so my daughter lost a tooth on, I don't know, Tuesday, whatever it was. And like, it was probably a little early, but I just went in there and just gave her the old twist and just yank. And it wasn't a pleasant experience for her. But then like the next day she woke up and her tooth right beside it was like hanging by a thread, like just out of nowhere. And then she wouldn't let me pull it out, so she just wiggled that thing until she pulled it out herself. So I guess I'm off the hook now.
Yeah.
But they gotta be like turned a little bit colored, like a little discolored, and then you know they're loose
Yeah.
enough.
My favorite was when you'd like, when I was pulling my own and you'd like twist it to the point that it just like
Yeah.
pops off.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, this whole like dental floss or string thing, like I just can't figure it out.
You said that in our chat, and I've never heard that before.
You haven't heard like the tying the string and like shutting the door?
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that.
yeah.
They're just like
Yeah,
pulling
I
it.
thought you meant like trying to floss underneath it to get it pulled.
Well, I don't know, like my wife keeps telling me this, she's like, my dad would just like take the dental floss and just like pull it like a little loop and it would just like twist it and
Or
pop
you
it
just
out.
like tighten it to the point that it just pops the gum
Yeah.
off.
But like I
That's
tried
not bad.
that, not happening, so I'm off the hook.
My kids have been losing teeth like crazy lately, so we're just like out of coins at our house because we just have like toonies and loonies. that just
Have you
sitting there.
forgotten once?
Oh, we've forgotten. Yeah, actually, my oldest 2 nights ago wrote a letter to the tooth fairy.
I owe
Where
you.
the fuck's my money? Like,
Really?
why are you forgetting about me? Because
good.
my wife forgot 2 nights. It was
Like
on the
who
weekend.
has coins?
Yeah. Yeah, we've given them like $5 bills, but then the next time it's like $3, and then they're like, "What the hell? I'm like, why is this less?"
What? Hey, it's
Smaller too.
But also, one
It's
of
not a
these
big
days,
tooth on the
one of
Power
these days I'm
Rangers.
gonna look them in the, one of these days I'm gonna look them in the eye and be like, "You know, this chick isn't real, right? Grow up." My youngest knows, but he just plays along. But Coop
Yeah.
is like, I don't know.
Really? Good for him.
Yikes.
Does that happen before the Santa talk, or is that like, what's the
I think it's a
what's
slippery
the order?
slope. I think
we'll
she's a slippery
start it
slope.
there.
Simultaneous?
It's funny you bring that up because my son asked this morning where the leprechaun was. Why didn't the leprechaun bring his stuff? And I was like, dude, the leprechaun hasn't been here for 3 years. Because yesterday he was at his cousin's house making leprechaun traps. And he just woke up this morning. He's like, hey, I left a trap over there. The leprechaun's left something in it. And where's mine? And I was like,
Like the
dude.
Easter Bunny? Like she thinks they bring
Well,
something?
because my wife used to give them like green colored stuff
Oh.
and like
Yeah.
candy and stuff like that, but that stopped a while ago.
It's even
It's
less
on
of
the
a
Lucky
holiday
Charms
than
box, but-
Valentine's Day.
I have green Lucky Charms, yeah. Had it the last couple nights. Nope, not last couple. Last night.
Disgusting. And then the only other thing I did, so my mom is volunteering at the curling worlds, but they were out of town all week. But Thursday you had to go pick up all their stuff, and so I said I would go do that for them. And you would think this is just a simple process. I say her name and they give me a package. Well, I go there, and from start to finish, it was the most annoying situation I've ever been a part of. So I go, and this woman like sees me walking up, and she's like, I don't know what she's trying to do, and like guess who I am, because she's already like flipping through sheets. And so maybe there was only like a few guys who had volunteered or something, but she's like trying to guess, and then I tell her my mom's name, and she keeps flipping and flipping and flipping, and I'm like, no, it's that one. And she like double checks and like, well, I'm like, no, it's for my mom. Like, I'm just here. She's out of town. And then she tells me the whole thing of what to do. Like, hey, you got to go to this table, and then this table, and that table, and that table, and then you'll be done. And then she goes, but you won't be able to pick up her pass because you don't have her ID, and you're not her. And I'm like, that's fine. She just wanted me to pick up the stuff that you can get today because it was the last day. And so I go in there, and the first person I go to gives me my first little tote bag of things, and she's like, by the way, you cannot pick up her pass because she's not here. So then she's like, okay, so I go to the next line, and, well, fuck, it's the line where you pick up your pass. And I'm like,
not the last line.
that's not the last line. And I'm like, what do I need to get here? They're like, the pass. I'm like, oh, I don't want that. And they're like, oh, well, what's your name? I said, my mom's name. They're like, oh, you can't pick up her pass. And I'm like, I know this. I don't want the pass. And then I go to the next line where you're getting the clothes, and this old lady, like 2 tables over, like waves me down. And she's like, you want this line? It's men's clothes. And I'm like, I'm not picking up men's clothes. I'm picking up this stuff for my mom. So I have to go back to the other line.
Well, you can't get her pass.
And then I get their clothes and I go to walk out. They're like, oh, you just got to sign off on this? And I sign my name and they're like, that doesn't match. And I'm like, I've told 5 people now. I'm just picking this up because it's the last day. And I just wanted to get my stuff for my mom. And then they're like, okay, well, we got to check everything. So I had nicely folded all the clothes and put them in the tote bag. Well, they just rip all these clothes out, look at the tags, and just stuff them back in the bag. I was just so frustrated by this whole thing. Like,
It's like a
just
Tim Robinson sketch.
Yeah.
it was a little bit like that. But yeah, so that's what I did. And then I only drank at the baseball draft. I had 13 drinks,
Yep, that sounds about right.
so 85 on the year.
All right.
I'm pretty proud of myself for not falling down the slippery slope that I normally
Yeah,
do.
you did well. You did very well.
So
I
maybe,
think it helped
there's
that
a
you were-
chance at a Player Cup here, guys.
I
Just
think there is
saying.
a chance.
The player cups aren't. You don't have the luxury of going home to bed in your own bed.
That's
I think
a good
that
point.
played a bit of a
It
role.
did, and like I had to be up Saturday to coach.
Yeah.
We got shit kicked that game for the last game of the year, so that was fun.
Sunday
And then
for
had to be up
baseball?
Sunday for baseball tryouts. So
Yeah. So you were responsible in that regard. You're going away. All responsibilities disappear.
that's true. It's gonna be
Completely
tough.
different.
But also those baseball tryouts, like, what a waste of time.
Big time.
Because here's the thing, there is like, I don't know, how many kids were there, like 50?
Yeah.
And like,
There's probably 80 in the league.
They didn't have enough evaluators.
but like
I guess.
20 were probably okay, like good to okay, and the other 30, it was just me and Knoop sitting on the side, like, not taking him, not taking him.
Oh yeah. Well, the next league up is the same.
Yeah.
Like,
They're all
it's more about who you don't want to take.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
exactly-
and a bunch of kids don't go to the tryouts either.
Yeah.
Like, they don't evaluate at all.
Yeah.
There's like, yeah, this kid wasn't there. Okay, well
Yeah.
he's still in the league. He still paid his fees.
Yeah,
He's
so
gonna
when
make
you're
a team.
drafting them as a coach, you're just like, does that name sound
Yeah.
athletic? That's all you got.
Well, and I
What
also,
kind of William am I looking
You're on
at?
Facebook.
I also think
look
it's
up the
weird, like,
parents.
why don't they have pitching machines?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like they let kids pitch in this senior rookie, right? For like 3 pitches.
Yeah.
So any kid that can pitch good is just gonna mow down the other team, right?
No, they're just gonna stand there and take the pitches.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
wait
but
for the
then if he
coaches.
pitches good, like it'll be just
Doesn't matter.
It's almost impossible for him to throw 3 strikes.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
they
couple
will
kids
watch.
that looked all
They'll
right.
just watch, and sometimes they'll strike out on 3 pitches. They're just like, yeah, the coach is coming in, and I got unlimited pitches.
Mhm.
Happens.
Oh, that's what happens. It's not an out.
A lot of times
you're supposed to give them 3 strikes or out, but every coach in every scenario gives them 4 or 5. And
Yeah.
you say you won't until you strike a kid out on 3 pitches, and then you're like, okay,
And
I'll
one of
give
Oh,
these
you
but
don't
if
something.
hurt.
the, no, I'm saying if
Yeah.
the kid pitcher strikes him out, is that an out?
That counts, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the
I've seen,
rarest
like,
possible
one of
thing.
those, I've seen
Okay.
like one of those in 2 years of the kid being
Yeah.
hit. It doesn't happen.
Because in Regina, they use those blue pitching machines. And it's just like a
Yes.
little arm that
Yeah, they
flings
step
it,
on
and
it.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
I have no idea why we don't use those.
Yeah, the kid pitches and then they just step on the machine and
Yeah.
it just flings it in. Because then it's not a real pitching machine. It's meant to recreate an arm action,
Yes.
but it's perfect every time.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, that's my gripe with that. But
okay.
let's hear the big winners.
So prior to the weekend, didn't do anything. Just was waiting for the ball draft all week. No hockey. It got moved. It was supposed to be Friday night during the draft, so it got moved to this Wednesday. So no hockey. The only story before I get into the golf story here is I was at school this week on my phone walking. I had to take piss before I went to class. So I'm walking in, and I'm in a wing of the school that I don't normally go in, or certainly don't go into the bathroom in. Go in on my phone, push the door open to go take a piss. I'm in the women's washroom.
No urinals.
2 of my students are in there. One's washing her hands, the other's brushing her hair. I look up from my phone, we lock eyes, and I was just like, oh shit. Like I was 4 steps into the bathroom. And I was like turned around, walked out, and then there's 4 of my other students who are friends with the 2 students that are in there, waiting for their friends to come out. And they look at me like, what the hell is he doing in there? I'm like, yeah, I went in the wrong bathroom. And now I had my first class with them since then today. It was awkward. Like,
That's not where I thought that story was going. Like, I thought it was going to be like you were taking 4 seconds on a 6-second piss or something.
No, I fully walked in, we locked eyes, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm not going to live this down for a while. So that was Thursday, and then, so to lead into this.
What's it like in there?
It looks the same as the men's.
No urinals.
Reverse, they're all mirrored.
Little
They're all
bit.
mirrored.
Tiny
those
bit
stalls. So anyway, over the past little bit, I haven't been on Bet365 since the Super Bowl pretty much. Cashed out my Eagles Super Bowl win, my Chiefs hedge, and kind of gave up gambling. But, I don't know, maybe a month ago, I think it was Pebble Beach actually, I figured I was going to put $25 in my DraftKings account for the first time in a while. I hadn't been on there in a while. So put 25 on. I was entering $3 contests, winning $5. You know how it goes. So I had $17 in my account, and I was like, I normally go in the bigger contests where you can win some big money. It was Wednesday night, and I was like, oh shit, it's Players Weekend. I should throw in some DraftKings contests. Go to get in the big ones. They're all full. I only have like the medium-sized ones. So I built one team for $3, one for $5. Set it and forget it. Thursday rolls around. Didn't even remember that I had it, and then the afternoon wave comes. I'm like, oh right, I have that team because Akshay was doing well. So I look it up. Oh shit, I'm in third place out of 7,100. And then so I start following it. Sure enough, finish in first place after Thursday. And it's like, okay, as Bruno well knows, there's always one guy that's going to miss the cut. So then Friday comes, and Sepp Straka is having a rough day. Rough front nine. So I'm like, oh, there's my always one. Don't even have to worry about this anymore. And I was saying, because I didn't want Canute to jinx it, I told you guys that I was in first after Thursday, and you're all begging for the team. Canute's begging to see the guys so that he can say all 6 of them have it locked at some point over the weekend.
It's going to be a 6-man playoff
Yeah.
between those 6 guys.
So I didn't give it to him. Friday comes around. The boys get down for the ball draft. Sure enough, end Friday, back in first. Sepp has a good back nine. All 6 guys through. 5 of them are in the top 10. And I'm in first place again. So then Saturday we're watching golf, locked in, ball draft, watching every single hole. Like jockeying like crazy because I have all the late guys, so I drop down like 20th. Then by the time Saturday finishes, still in first place. Going into Sunday. Then sure enough, drop down to 20th. I have Jake Knapp not doing well, Straka not doing well, Lucas Glover 2 over on the front nine. Think it's over with.
And he's watching this golf like Saturday, and I'm just like trying to guess who he has 'cause based on his reactions to everybody,
I
right?
still don't believe you, by the way. I think you knew everybody on his team.
He did not know
I did
until
eventually.
I gave him the team after Saturday's round.
I finally
He
figured
knew
it
on
out.
Sunday because he had guessed 4 of them. So I was like, okay, here you go. Here's my team. So then he knew, and I thought maybe that was enough of a
Well, I thought you had Morikawa, and then the one shot, you're like, get in the fucking water.
So just my well, because it's hard to
I
share.
think you don't have him.
So yeah. So then Saturday rolls around. Yeah, have Morikawa, Batia, Knapp,
You didn't have
Straka,
Morikawa.
or sorry,
McIlroy.
McIlroy.
Yeah.
And then so sure enough, comes to the final few holes. I'm doing the math. I'm like, fuck, I think I have this thing won. And then sure enough, right as soon as it ends, I'm still in first place. Everyone following me has Rory. The guys that have Spaun are too far back for me to lose. Sure. So this morning, go out, Rory wins, and won DK contest. It wasn't the big one, but multiple thousands.
Yeah.
U.S.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna send some to Rich to kind of put away for you?
No,
or what?
no. This
He's going
is
to gamble that all away.
Recoup,
I'm
probably.
gonna leave some on there for the Masters.
Obviously.
And then I was very excited, so I told my wife and kids they get like one thing each,
Nice.
like with a limit, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
We
So, yeah,
got
so
one thing
by-
each too then? Or?
We'll buy something nice for the pod.
Nice.
So now it's just a matter of what the cash out looks like because I'm probably gonna get some of it taxed and then have to submit my tax form and all that shit. But so big week. Churchill boost count for me, I had 32 on the week. So I have 192 on the year. And because I did not walk at all on Friday or Saturday. My wife did all the dog walking. I only got 32 kilometers in. So I'm at 346, which is 115 drinks. And I'm at 192.
You didn't count all your pacing this week?
Well, I wish I would have. Because there was a
That
lot of
should
it.
have counted.
That should have. 'cause
You did, yeah.
I didn't sit down for Friday and Saturday.
believe you.
I was just hawking the TV.
I believe it.
And it was actually kind of shitty because I watched pretty much Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because Friday I was off work for the draft. Watched the whole final 3 rounds.
Yeah.
But Sunday, everyone left. So I was sitting there by myself. My wife's like, I got to get out of the house. I can't stand you watching this. Because I'm literally every single shot.
Yeah.
I was like, well, because all my guys were in contention. So I was seeing so many of their shots.
Yeah.
But with that said, let's get into the recap of the players here. Like, I think this was almost the perfect PGA tournament. Super low scores early, and then when you get into the actual watching, it was almost like a U.S. Open.
Yeah, it got pretty windy.
Like, it was windy, the conditions were tough, and the clubhouse leader after Friday was 11 under, and they went into a playoff at 13.
No.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Like, even par over the weekend.
Well, we said Saturday after Connor shot 66. It was like, he might be like top 5 after this day.
Yeah.
With
'Cause
the shit that's going
Right
on.
when he got to about hole 11-ish, 12 is when that wind really started to kick off, and
Yeah.
the rest of the day they were screwed.
Yeah.
For the most
It's
part.
just amazing. Like, they never play in wind
No.
other than the British Open.
It is the
Where it's more wide
It's the
open
best.
Yeah.
too, right? Because
We
that
just
course
even
is
play
pretty
conditions.
tight.
Well, I was going to say, that course is not built for wind either.
No.
So, like, that's the thing is when they're playing in the wind in the British Open, it's like, yeah, the courses allow you. Sure, you're going to go into shit, but they're wide open. You can play the different wide fairways, all that stuff. Like, sawgrass with wind is crazy hard.
But like, it speaks like as much as I dislike the Willows. Like, that island hole at the Willows is way harder than the one at Sawgrass. Because if you play from the back tees, it's like 170,
Yeah.
and you're always dealing with
Crosswind usually.
crosswind, 35K, 40K wind every time you play it.
Yeah.
Like, that's
and that,
way harder than
that was one of the reasons that they pushed the tournament back, right? To now.
Yeah.
It's because a little cooler, they had a little worse conditions.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's so
And
much better viewing experience.
That's probably why the last 6 or 7 winners are all top players.
Yes.
They're,
Yeah.
they're
But-
rising.
I mean, this leaderboard had a lot of, I don't want to say unknowns, but like
Yes.
lesser players
Yeah.
up and down. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
it was a good tournament that way too.
yeah, I think that's what made
Good
it
mix.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you had thrilling back and forth drama with really only Rory there. Like, Morikawa for a little bit, but it was really Rory and a bunch of, not randoms, but lesser knowns. And everyone was still absolutely glued to it because, again, bogeys happen. Guys not making birdie feels like a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, I'll just go get that one back 2 holes later. JJ Spaun throwing that dart on 14 for the first birdie all day. It's like, yeah, he's destined.
Well, and I think, I mean, we'll probably get to JJ, but I think him having to play today really hurt him. I think if they would have got to play last night, Spawn probably wins.
I don't know if probably. Is
Well, no,
I think
there's
it'd
a
be
better
closer.
chance, right? Rory
Yeah.
being 3 up with 5 to go and him
Yes.
blowing that,
Yeah.
right? Like, all that momentum's on JJ's side. Rory just sneaks a putt in on 18 to get in the house, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that was crazy because that had U.S. Open all over
Yes.
again. Like, he
They
did
just
power lift in.
snuck in.
Yeah.
Right? Complete opposite of last year with Wyndham.
Yeah.
Right? He'd power lip out and Rory power lips in.
Let's so yeah, Rory. I mean, first Euro to ever win the Players twice, so that's a big
That's
accomplishment.
crazy.
And he's
actually.
one of 4 guys to have 2 players in 2 majors.
I think.
Yeah, I think I saw that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Scheffler, Woods.
Scheffler, Woods, and Nicholas.
Yeah.
I think is what they said.
Yeah.
Wow. This is also his first time winning on U.S. soil prior to the Masters,
2.
and he's done it twice.
Second time he's had 2 wins.
Yes.
Prior.
But first time it's been on both on the U.S. soil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
I think
mean-
that last time was Hawaii, and
37 wins now, I think.
I think it's 40.
I think it is
Worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide, because he's 20. It was 28th on the PGA Tour. Is he going to be betting favorite at the Masters, or is he going to just be behind Scotty?
I think he
Just
kinda
It's got to be
has
2,
to
right?
be
No, he's
now.
just behind, I'd say.
Just behind.
I think so.
Because I think
I think
Well,
it goes-
Neiman's
I think it
gotta
goes
be
Rory-
maybe number
yeah,
one.
Rory,
We'll get to
Scheffler,
Niemann.
tied.
Yeah.
Second, I mean.
I do think it's got to be Scotty just because of his. I mean, he
His
has
pedigree there.
yeah,
Might be
he has
JT.
green jackets, so.
Yeah.
Did you guys see him say he's not planning on playing on the Champions Tour? Rory? I mean,
Els
and
had a
then
really good tweet to follow that up.
the one saying about the competitiveness
Yeah.
and he'll miss it.
Yeah.
See, I don't think he's gonna. Like, I think it's a different generation. Like, I don't think he's gonna care.
Just a job, and I'll be done when I'm done.
Yeah. Like, he'll get to 50. I mean, he's only, 35? He's got
Yeah.
15 more years. I don't think he's
I
gonna.
mean, it's kind of hard to make that comment 15 years from now, too. You're
Yeah,
looking at the other
right
way.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was L's whole thing, right? Like,
Yes.
right now, he's got all this golf left ahead of him. He probably won't want to, but competitive.
But
nature
he'll,
is-
he'll
He's a
still,
very
he can still play
competitive
the
person,
he'll
right?
still play the Open Championship and
and
you know, not the Masters, but
maybe,
maybe.
maybe the Masters.
But like, did Tom Watson ever play on the Champions Tour?
Very rarely, I
Yeah.
think.
Like,
Like,
he's
just
one
the
of those guys who
majors
just
for
play
a
the
little
majors,
bit,
right?
and then
Yeah.
that's it.
But even at that, if he goes out and does that, that's fantastic for that tour,
Yeah.
right? Like, who cares if he's
Yeah, a
playing
couple
a handful
times,
of
yeah.
events? Yeah, like doesn't matter.
We also don't know what his body's going to look like.
Well, and
Yeah,
also,
there's-
like,
there's a lot
If
of
the world will
speculation.
exist by then, we don't even know.
Yeah, that asteroid hits, we're fucked anyway.
Hey, it's down to not hit it. Like, but like, has any real big name? Like, L's might be the biggest name. that
VJ.
played-
Like Phil
Yeah.
played what? 2
VJ, I
events?
guess.
2 events? 3 events? Something like that.
Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
I guess it is probably VJ actually.
But he didn't play that much either.
You
He
think
still
like
plays
that's the thing.
sometimes.
You don't think he would want to play in like the senior majors?
Yeah, why not?
Like
Yeah.
that's the part that's
Guess
weird
we'll
to me.
see. Did you guys see on Wednesday when he stole that guy's phone?
Everybody saw it. Yep.
Well, I was just wondering if you three.
It is. Well, no, it's. I did see it, but I honestly forgot about it until you just brought it up. Like he won in a week where that led and started the
Yeah, and
week.
he like posted a Snapchat or something.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he? So he stole it, and everyone thought it was a bad thing, and it was actually a good thing.
No,
No, he was
He's
like calling the
he's got-
guy
yeah.
out
On his
Yes,
Snapchat.
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Like he stole a guy's phone. It happened to be open still without a passcode, and he went
He
into
asked
his
for the guy's password.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Asked for it, went into his Snapchat, and then took a Snapchat of him being a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes the story way better.
And got the guy kicked out.
Oh, that's not as much fun, but
Yeah.
that's
Apparently,
wild.
did you see the story about who he is?
No.
So apparently he's a University of Texas golfer.
Oh, I did see
He's
that
on their
actually.
team. He just won like a college tournament the day before, and then goes out and this happens.
I mean, to be fair, if you're gonna chirp a guy, you probably should expect to maybe get kicked out.
I mean, it wasn't even that bad. All he said was something just like Augusta. Is all he said. Like it's not even that bad.
Just like
That's-
11 at Augusta is what he said.
Yeah.
When Rory pulled one way left or whatever.
Like soft.
Yeah, that's all I
He
have
must
for
be
Rory.
so mad that he won.
Yeah, he's so
No,
mad.
I love
Oh,
it.
he's fuming. You can
you-
see the,
can you
steam
imagine-
coming out of his ears.
Can
The
you
camera
imagine
picks
if
it
I
up.
told him if I told him Rory was on that DraftKings team?
Oh my God, you'd
Yeah.
finish probably 6,500.
Like,
he would have
would be
jinxed
like,
you that bad.
Don't worry, Matty. Don't worry, Matty. Rory's got this. I'm cheering for him all, like
I
every
was
week.
cheering for Rory. I like him.
You were cheering for Colin, and that's why I loved every second of Rory winning this tournament.
That's all I had for Rory.
That's
I
all
mean,
Bronell kept saying. He's got Morikawa or McIlroy, one of those two, and then that water thing happened. I'm like, fuck yeah.
we might as well talk about JJ Spaun. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of touched on it already, bit of a tough look in the playoff today. Now, my question is, was that karma for that drop he took on Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, if you look back,
I mean, it's well within the rules. I
Yeah.
get it. But still,
There was-
like
Use them to your advantage, I guess.
he had a
that
lot of things
was
go his way. Like
10 yards left.
the putt
Oh, yeah.
on 18 on Saturday that went pretty much around the world and in. Like there's an extra shot,
Yeah.
gets him in the keeps him in the final group. He had a lot going his way, and yeah, today conditions. I don't think not very many people thought that he was winning that playoff today.
Yeah.
The weirdest part of today is interview after where he thought his shot on 17 was going to be short.
Well, he's just like, yeah, I couldn't tell. I hit it so high. I
He
thought
hit
the
it
wind
too
was
good,
gonna
but then
hit.
he also said he hit it too good.
Yeah, but he's like, it was just floating. I thought it was in the bunker.
The wind must have died because
Had to.
nobody goes 20 yards over like that unless you're Tiger at the TGL. That's the only way.
Nice. TGL talks
I
coming
can't
up.
wait to talk about Tiger later. Yeah, so I mean, it was a good run by JJ Spaun. Who else? I mean,
He's been playing really good golf this
Very
year.
absolutely,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's
57th
I always
in
remember
the
that
world.
story of him riding that bike around at Hawaii at the Sony or whatever it is.
Well, I'll never forget, like every time I see JJ Spaun, I'll never forget when we went to the Canadian Open, and this was right around that live time. Do you remember we were on like 6 tee, I think it was, at St. George's? And he was on the tee talking with a couple of other guys about the live. And like, I was there and I overheard their conversation. They were just like, so what are you thinking about this live stuff? 6 was that par 3, I think it was?
Yeah.
And they're
That's
standing
exactly
there and
what
they're
I got
talking about it, and they were just like openly talking about it in front of everyone. They're like, "Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with it, but man, that's a lot of money." And like, it was just like, "Holy shit, these guys! A bunch of them might be going."
Yeah,
But he seems like a pretty nice dude.
he does. Yeah, that interview that they did after, he just seemed like a really genuine dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was
I
just
liked it.
yeah, the leaderboard. I don't know if you got like I didn't say it in DraftKings, but I was very. I've gained a newfound love for Lucas Glover. Obviously, he helped me win this, but that guy is an absolute grinder. Like they were showing, like they stopped showing his shots because he was 2 over through 5 or whatever, and then he just keeps grinding. The next thing you know, they pop up. That's the one thing I have. If we're going to talk about the telecast, like no commercials. This is what everyone needed. Like perfect.
I saw a few tweets
Telecast.
saying it was way better. Yeah.
Way better, but
But
just
they do
that's
that.
the thing is they're showing so many shots, but they're showing JT because he shot 62 on Saturday, and they're still showing him on Sunday, wasting airtime.
Yeah. And he's
And
six
not
back
showing-
or 7 back.
It was
Not showing
Friday.
the guys-
shots.
Friday shots.
Yeah, sorry, but they're still showing his shots, and it's like, yeah, I know you want to show him, but like no one, even his fans, care about seeing his shots when he's 2 under.
Yeah.
Show us literally all the guys that are within 4 shots of the lead.
Yeah, especially because like it's the players, so it's like a elevated tournament, and you still have these story like backstory guys.
Yeah.
Like
Connors was
you
barely
guys.
shown.
Connors didn't show
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Glover-
I'll tell
they
you
were
who they
showing more
didn't show
Cantley.
hardly at all. Bob McIntyre,
Yeah.
and
Well,
he was
just at
top
the
10.
end. Just at the
Like,
end.
that's the quietest top 10 maybe ever.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't show him until he was like 8 under. They
Yeah.
showed his like last
That's
3
nuts.
holes.
Yeah.
One thing we have to talk about, because I think we're going to be divided on this, is that goddamn tree on hole number 6.
What's the problem with it?
What's the problem? Why don't you just build like a mini golf castle that they got to hit through a hole?
You're the guy talking about them playing in snow.
Yeah, that would be fun. These gimmicky trees that hang over.
instead of rolling the ball back, why don't you do these things like adding a tree to make?
No, don't do.
What do you mean? Don't
Finish,
what?
finish,
The
finish.
Hole,
I
the
need
hole,
to hear
the
this.
hole played way harder this week. There was way less birdies. The hole played way harder.
Did you know that they lengthened it this year?
Not one guy hit the tree. So what's the problem? You're just thinking a little differently. What's wrong with that?
Just
Well,
hitting
like
the
you
hole
said,
a little bit
just
differently.
build a little cardboard castle with a drawbridge that comes down every so often, and then you just have to hit through the drawbridge.
Okay, you can barely hit a tee shot on hole 12 here at our home course because the tree is 10 yards left.
Oh,
and you can't aim left enough. Can
I
you
can hit a
imagine
cut.
going to that tee?
I can hit a cut
Can
there.
you imagine going to
I'll
that
fucking
tee?
hit 10 fucking cuts in a row this year.
Yeah,
I'll
but
shank 2
you
of
don't
them.
care about that tree because he just rat hooks it in around there, being a lefty. If that tree's on the left side, we got a problem with old Brownell.
Well, now a driver. I'm cutting driver.
Not when it overhangs.
Oh,
Like it's
man.
So I think it was a combination though of them lengthening the hole and not being able to really go for it. Like they were all playing like low shots, which
Yeah.
made the hole
No problem
even
for Jake
longer.
Knapp. It's that stinger. And,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't mind it.
I was
Make the
indifferent.
fairway skinny on a hole. Make it fucking 10 yards wide on a
in
hole.
the snow.
I don't mind that, but I don't know. That tree, I couldn't get behind.
It seemed a little
It
like
seemed like it was just for the content.
Yes.
Yeah, we
It
put a
was
tree.
very
in.
weird.
you could have put a tree there. It didn't. I don't know if it had to overhang, so you had to hit it 10 feet off the ground.
It's on the other side of the
It wasn't
fucking tee
10
box.
feet. Those guys weren't hitting that unless they were hitting wedge off there. Like they were just hitting low drivers, no problem. It wasn't that big of a deal
Practice round, they were hitting it.
on purpose.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
My issue was they did that whole feature on it, posted on their Twitter account or whatever, social media, and they said we had to find the perfect tree for it. And then they showed before and after, and sure, the tree looks kind of the same, but it looks nothing the same. Like the other tree was not hanging over the hole.
same
so
type
much.
of tree.
Yeah, it's the same type of tree, but
Yeah.
the branch was like twice as long.
Yes, it goes so much further now than it did before.
It's like-
so it's not even like.
You got duped if that was the perfect
Yeah,
tree.
exactly.
Like they went to
Oh,
the tree
man.
farm and they're like, yeah, this is the perfect tree. Then they spent all the money, put it in. They're like, holy fuck, we're gonna have to cut some of that branch off.
500,000 pounds. I guess we're stuck with this one. We can't bring it back.
Hey, did you guys see what the cost was?
No.
Because we were debating this at the draft and we were throwing out hundreds of thousands. I said it might be close to $1
The
million
tree was
bucks.
on property.
Oh, was it?
Oh,
Yeah.
then it wasn't that much.
Oh, that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
that much at all.
I mean, it would still cost a lot to move
Oh,
that
to
tree.
move that thing.
Yeah, but anyway.
You guys, I mean, we've talked about how the wind was great, but do you see that Paul McGinley quote about saying this isn't wind, this is just what like Europeans do when they cough, like or sneeze, like it's
Yeah.
windier.
Well, that's what us living in Saskatchewan would say. It's like, oh, okay, nice
Well,
for
and
them
the
to play
thing
in our
is, like,
wind.
I think it's harder to play here than it is over there because those courses are wide open.
Oh,
Like you get to some of the courses, like
Well, they're wide open with, in
Dunes
the
and
sense where there's no
valleys.
hazards, but you're still hitting at a long rough.
yeah,
I-
for sure.
So gusting to 30, what's that?
50.
45, 50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of have a hot take off of that. Like, I almost have zero interest in golfing in like Scotland.
Zero.
Really?
Like close to zero. Like
I mean,
wet,
For you, I
windy,
understand that.
gross. You know how white my fingers would be?
I know. Yeah.
I wouldn't even be able to play.
Well, sometimes it's nice.
Not often.
You
Not
might get
often.
You might get a nice day. You don't
Twice a
know.
month. Yeah.
Like I don't think I'd even want to play.
It's not sunny very much.
Well, it's the dream.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince
guy
me
hates the
anymore.
sun's dream.
You don't have to convince me anymore.
Shut up about the sun.
Danny Walker, I guess he
Yes.
finished T6. He only got in like Wednesday night when Jason Day withdrew. So I mean that was pretty impressive. I was looking at his bio to figure out who the hell this guy was. Apparently he's a big Tampa Bay Rays fan.
No one is.
Little fun fact
only
there.
one.
That's exactly why I brought it up.
Does he have a-
I wonder if he has season tickets, but
He doesn't wear the logo on his jersey or his shirt, hey?
I don't think so.
Cam Young
Um,
MVP.
like that.
Here's something I'm not necessarily
Or
proud
Napa
about.
does.
I thought that was Jimmy Walker for like a long time, and I had seen him hit a shot too, and I still thought it was Jimmy Walker. Like, what the hell did he do with that beard?
Why does he have long hair?
Yeah.
He's reverse aging with Lyme disease.
So speaking of guys on, obviously he does money qualifiers and stuff. You got the Ontario boys on there?
Yeah, it's on the list.
Okay, we'll get to that.
We can get to it right now. So Monday Q gave, or I don't know if he had a contest or they asked him for tickets and he just gave.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
weirdest part. Is
he
how
just-
they get the tickets.
He had a bunch of tickets he was giving away all week.
Yeah.
And so they got some, and then they told him that they were actually from Ontario. And he said, "Well, if you get down here, I'll give them to you." So they just
Got in the car and drove for 20 hours.
But three of them, like, it's not as wild as like one guy driving 20 hours.
Yes.
Like they would
But
have
I-
done shifts.
Yeah, they did shifts. It looked like they said they documented. They threw a few videos out, which was sweet. But they were getting like Mr. Monday Q there, Ryan. He's got some serious strings he can
Yes.
pull because TPC Sawgrass is letting them play on Dies Legends today.
TGL.
They went to TGL tonight or tomorrow night. Like now it's not just a little bit, it's an entire week now.
Yeah.
They're gonna be playing golf. Obviously they took their clubs down. If they're going that far, you might as well skip school for the week and just
Yep.
go be mini celebrities for a while.
Yeah, it's
Like what a week.
pretty amazing. Who else do we have on here? Will Zalatoris.
Holy.
I mean, Bronell did say he was gonna win this thing.
No, I said can win.
You
Jinx
said
exists?
I said Altor's can win.
Oh,
And
I
then
thought
went
he said
over
was
like
going
6
to win. And he had quite the back nine
That's a
on
jinx,
Sunday.
Canoop.
That is the definition of a jinx. We might as well
So,
talk. Oh, go ahead.
One more thing. Just for the record, I
Yeah.
told Bronell, like he was trying to guess these guys on my team. I told him one guy, can't remember which one it was, and he immediately bogeyed the next hole. Like immediately, and that sealed the deal for me not telling anyone else.
Oh,
He
it was
was-
Glover. It was
No,
Glover.
we already knew.
No, we knew
Glover.
Glover.
Yeah.
Which guy was it?
Patia maybe? No,
No, who was it? Was it Jake Knapp they got?
maybe.
Yeah. It might have been, I think he has Knapp. And then just him saying that, he bogeyed the next hole.
Yeah, well, that wasn't jinx. I wasn't actively trying to
Still
jinx.
talked
Yeah.
about.
Just trying to figure it out.
We might as well talk about Batya. He did finish tied for third. He was the youngest player ever to lead the players after day one, so that's a little feather
Yep.
in his cap. But, I mean, you can't expect to win when you're driving the ball like that. Like, that was...
I will
That
say,
made Campbell's slice on 18 there look like just a nice little
Yeah.
smooth fade.
Yeah.
Some of his shots.
Yeah, he was on the range.
I would say for the amount of airtime he got, like he's probably up into my top 10 favorite
I
golfers.
really
Top
enjoy watching.
10?
Top
He might be
10.
bottom 10 for me.
Wow.
Really?
Like just the way that he was not racist. he was not putting. He was not
know
putting
what he
very
is.
well. But he wasn't putting very well. But just the way that he was, like carrying himself after, like
Yes.
it seemed like he didn't even give a shit.
No, I
He's
like
like,
that.
I'm not playing
I
well.
enjoy watching.
These two idiots.
That might be racist.
He,
Like
I listened to an interview.
great player.
Yeah, talking like
Great
he
iron
just
player.
I don't like his swing, and most lefties have good swings.
Oh, I love his
Really?
swing.
Yeah.
So skinny.
He was talking about he brought his coach down because he missed the cut last week, right? So he brought his coach down and they were working on the driver, and he decided to go back to the rope this week. Didn't hit it fantastic, but I guess that's a big thing that we've talked about a little bit on this pod is like a lot of the TaylorMade guys as well have gone back to the old drivers, right? Like no one's using the new one. Batchy has gone back to an old one. It seems to be a little bit of a trend this year. I don't know what the deal is with it, but so far this Elite's been good for me. I can't complain. Indoors. We'll
Indoors.
see. In a month and a bit.
Bud Cauley finished T6. Nice to see that name up there again, maybe for the first time ever. JT had that interview where he said he'd do weird and wild things to get Bud to win. And that just made me think, well, what would he do to have Scotty's year last year? Because he said he might do it, so I don't know what, sell his soul?
Looks
I
like
don't know.
Rory might be having Scotty's year.
Oh, maybe.
Rory might be like getting into like Steph, LeBron, like late career surge, like here, like a late 30s.
Oh, that's good.
Just
That's
an
gonna
absolute-
burn him up.
Look at his
It's
ears.
just gonna
smoking
burn him
already.
up.
Like he might win. What if he wins 2 majors this year and just absolutely
I'd love to
dominates?
see that.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, the
I
jinxes will be out. Fitzy missed the cut, and with that, split up with his caddy, Billy Foster. So
That's
that
right.
was,
Yeah, and then he was at TGL tonight.
no
Fitzy's been terrible lately.
Well, so bad that he couldn't even make the top 3 of 4 on New York Golf Club today.
Hey, they won. Maybe they'll get the
It's a
final
good
nod.
gauge. Yeah.
Cam Young was playing ahead of
Yeah,
him,
over him. Yeah.
which was that's saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Remember when
bad.
he was good?
Who's the 4th for LA that
I don't
didn't
know.
play today?
Who
That's
did
what I was
play?
trying to think. Tigala, Xander, and
Can't remember the other guy.
Oh,
why
boy.
can't I think of it?
Oh, Fleetwood.
Fleetwood. Yes, thank you.
You know, you just love the TGL.
Yeah.
You have all the
Tom,
magic.
to
in
that's
be
it.
not
honest-
Tom Kim. He's on the Bay.
Tom Kim's on Tiger's team.
Yeah.
Today was the
Jupiter,
first time I watched an entire thing since week 2.
You watched it.
I did watch today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Seemed like a good match.
Well, it was
When I
very
was
good.
following along on
Xander was playing
Instagram and
You
Twitter.
kidding me?
What'd you say, her?
So it seemed like a good match from what I was following along on social media.
It
Like,
was
I didn't
actually.
watch it,
Yeah.
but
Lots of good hammers and
I wrote
Well,
down.
Xander's the other guy who I
Yep.
didn't see.
I wrote down Spieth gonna Spieth. Started off good, and then just was up and down the rest of the way, throwing
Yeah.
clubs, doing it all.
Roller coaster.
it was a
Who had the good
poor
two-handed
club
throw on Sunday? Someone had a really good two-handed club throw.
I don't know.
was-
Spieth was terrible.
Yeah, like it's like you realized he shouldn't be doing this halfway through. and just, like take a lesson from Bronell, commit to it, and just let her fly.
Even if
Right?
it's
Like
in
you
your
gotta
own-
commit to it. You
even if
can't
it's
you
in
can't
your bag.
half-ass it.
No.
If you
I
break
gotta,
clubs, it
I
just
gotta
happens.
start putting the jazz back in the bag, just to have.
Just a smash club.
But it's hard to like. I'm usually cooled down by then. Like, I'm not gonna go to the band. I'm not gonna go to the cart and get a new club to throw. You know, by
That
then,
would be, unless you just gotta start bringing it with you at all times.
yeah, just 2 clubs all everywhere.
I got the 60 degree and the jab, just in case I skull this.
That's a really good idea, Harv. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then the only other guy I had written down was Chandler Phillips, kind of the no-namer who was up there day one and then completely went off the rails after that. But that's golf, baby. Canadians?
Yeah, I mean, there was only one good one. Obviously, Connor's T6. He was good last week, 3rd, I think. So he's, he gets hot.
Yeah, he does.
He's streaky.
Well, I did say that.
Always
when we
has
picked
been.
the
Majors
majors
pool.
pool. I said Connors is a streaky
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
At least we got one right.
We fucked up with Aberg though.
I
And we
mean,
talked
I
about
did,
Rory too.
and I did say we should stack this one, and then we got away from it.
But our picks weren't bad. Like Lowry and Straka were both top
No,
20.
it was just that we had Rory on there.
Yeah.
Rory over Aberg were right ahead.
Rory over anybody. We would have been good. Pendrith with T38 and the other 5 all missed the cut, actually. So, tough.
That one was close.
Conditions
right?
are tough out there.
I didn't make it.
Aces, Keegan Bradley had an ace on the 13th hole on Sunday, so good for him. I mean, that guy's got to take himself. He
We're gonna
just
talk about it
has
every
to.
week.
Every
Until the
week
Ryder
I'm
Cup.
speaking it into existence is what I'm going to do. But I don't know. I think he should.
I just watched the President's Cup episode last night, so
I also
Oh, I
think
gotta
he should
watch
call
that.
Zach
Yeah.
Johnson and just tell him you're not on the team. Even though he already knows, but like for them they're gonna have that on full swing, right? Like he just calls them and it's like,
got to go a different direction.
Zach,
sorry, Zach, you
Yeah.
just
Well,
didn't
no,
make
dude.
I
it.
got a list of 20 guys here that I'm considering. You weren't a part of that list.
Just something. Like I'd like that.
But yes, good point. I started Full Swing episode 1 and then I forgot it was even on.
Yeah.
I looked really hard for us. And
No.
yeah, I
we're
didn't
not
see
in
us either.
Nah,
Tosti also had an ace on 17 in the practice round, and then did what might be the worst pawn jump of all time, maybe.
I think
He's
he
like
rethought
ran-
it and
he's
then
like
his caddy
ran
like
off the
pushed
edge,
him.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
like that pond's like 3 feet deep. Like that's a little weird, isn't
That
it?
water looks better than
Man.
Moose Shot tap water, though. It looks fantastic.
Well, it's because they're all
Like
man-made.
gator shit.
So they're all man-made. So you got to think like they don't want to put a ton of water
Yeah.
in there. Just looks like water.
Yeah, to
Like, I
fish
bet
those
you that
balls
pond-
out
yeah.
easier.
That pond on 18, like the whole left side of 18, I bet you it's 4 feet deep.
I think that water's died too, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Pete died.
Oh,
Nice.
Why?
And JJ Jakovic also made an ace. Whose caddy's that?
Colin Morkowitz.
That's right. So he also made an ace when they let the caddies hit on 17
Yep.
that day. I didn't find any birthdays or really look that hard for that matter. And then shots of the week, anyone?
I got Justin Lauer after rinsing his first one.
Oh,
really?
that's your
Good for you.
Yeah.
And then going to the drop zone and making
Yugging
a
it.
3.
Yugging it.
Well, now I don't know what to say. That was going to be mine.
I got Rory's punch cuts on hole 6, I think, on Saturday. Just like, because that's impossible and he hit it fairly close.
Oh, the one wrapped it around the
Yeah.
trees?
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah.
hit two
Unbelievable.
fantastic- and
Yeah.
The one
And
on
then-
18 on
yeah, the one on
whatever.
The
18.
thing about like Rory and Tiger and those guys, when they don't always pull them off, but when they do, it just looks so like
Yeah.
effortless.
Like they showed
Yeah.
when it first happened, that shot on 6 you're talking about, it was good. But then they showed the other camera angle of it coming out of the trees, and you saw how bad it
How
cut.
can you
from the
slice
green side,
an
right?
iron
That
that
one?
much?
Yeah.
The green side
Yes.
view from the water side, yeah.
was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that amount of cut and to hit it on the green, like it's like you hit that shot, it's just like I'm just banana in this
Yeah.
wherever.
Yeah.
Get
And
it
I
out of
think
the
that
trees.
it's- the fact that it's a cut is one thing.
Yes.
If you're wrapping a hook, like that's
Easier.
much easier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bubba Watson style.
Yeah.
Was it this week that Homo people thought he killed that guy, or was that last week?
That was last year at this tournament.
Oh,
wasn't
last
it?
year.
Yeah.
This I just saw the
Last
thing.
time he was good.
He is bad.
He ain't good though.
Wyndham Clark also withdrew, so
Yep.
so sad.
Those official world golf ranking points.
Yeah. The news, quick hits.
Really quick here. We're already at an hour here.
Yeah, we'll be quick. Donald Trump won the club championship at Trump International.
Do you think, like, this is a serious question. Do you think he goes up to those people that he's playing and literally says to them, "I will have you killed if you beat me"?
He
I
has
don't
to
know
do
about
something.
killed, but he's done something. Also,
I
why is
guarantee.
it right now?
Yeah.
Why is the club championship in March? Like, I get the golf year round, but like, still seems weird to me.
Yeah.
Probably because they want to get the parking spot out of the way for the season, for this upcoming season.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean,
I 100% think he threatens the people he plays.
or maybe they're just
can see
intimidated
it.
by him.
Maybe it's just understood that you cannot beat Mr. Trump.
Well, he
President
gets-
Trump.
He gets gimmies, I'm sure, too, right?
Yeah, they
Well,
probably.
he's got licorice for sure.
In tournament play.
He's got licorice.
The guy needs
Probably
something.
ate half of it, but he still got it.
Can you imagine just playing him and on the first hole he just pulls out the licorice and he's like, "Yep."
That's a 3, boys. Speaking of Trump and speaking of Tiger Woods, apparently Tiger Woods is dating Vanessa Trump.
That's
Has that been
wild
confirmed?
development if true.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
Well,
I won't confirm it, but it's,
Looking that way?
I don't know. He makes some odd choices, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tiger Woods, he ruptured his Achilles tendon and will not be playing anytime soon.
Go ahead. Let's hit us with the punchline.
Like, this is all a ruse, right? Like, it has to be. And I know you guys are thinking I'm going to make some joke about a ruse to get more pain pills, but I'm not. What I think is going on here is he is going to continue to have so many of these injuries that he just will never play again.
you're right.
And then it's not his fault for coming back and sucking and just fading away. It's just he's just been hurt for so long. This is what it is.
I think that's already what it is.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
already kind of
Like,
were there.
It's
But like
like
I
you
think
watch him we watch him limp around courses and stuff like this. Like that guy can't play.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Up until this injury happened, people were like, Tiger's playing and he's not limping and he's looking good, and like it gets all this expectations up.
Right? Yes.
And then all of a sudden, oh, Achilles popped. I'm out for a while. So I think it's like a whole
so
thing.
you think it's coming off the back of him being ass at TGL even?
Yeah, I think it's everything. Like I think he's just like, I'm gonna keep being injured until these guys forget about me and I'm too old to ever be. Like,
Yeah, because at that point it's just like, yeah, you know he's not coming back. 'cause he's
Yes.
too old.
Yeah, I think that's happening. Yeah, so I know you guys thought I was going to make that about pain pills and
Right.
whatever, but he gets those things anyway, so it doesn't matter about the injuries.
I mean, since we're talking about it though, injuries kind of derailed him from his career in general though. Like at
Oh,
this
for
point,
sure.
just
That's
lean
fair.
into it, right? Like it's like, had he not got injured with his back and all that stuff, he for sure was breaking those records. So now, why come back and you're right, somewhat embarrass yourself to an extent, and now just be like, okay, yeah, the dream's done. Sorry, but he
But
keeps
at the
winning
same
the pip every time he
time,
comes back.
does he win all those tournaments without that wild swing during that era? Because he won all those tournaments because he hit it so much farther than everyone.
Which brought on the injuries, you're
Which
saying?
brought on all the
Yeah.
injuries.
He's also the best player on tour.
Oh, for sure, but like there was that whole intimidation factor that guys cave to him when he's hitting 4 irons and they're hitting 3 woods and he's
Yeah.
landing
Yeah.
it soft on the green and making eagle. You know,
Yeah.
like he was just doing things. I'm not
We're
discounting
officially
what he
in,
did,
what
but
ifs now.
yeah, I think.
I'm just sad we're not going to really be talking about him for another year now.
Oh, I'm sure he'll
Oh,
get in
he'll
a
be
car
in the news.
accident or something. It'll be fun. That's how he got relevant last time. Next, Rocco Mediate went on the record just blasting Colin Morikawa for not speaking after his loss last week. Said Arnold Palmer's ass up in his grave, rolling over in that thing.
I don't think that's what he said, but
Essential. I'm paraphrasing slightly, but he was not impressed in saying that
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer would have chased him down and made him talk at this thing.
I don't really know where I stand because on one hand it's Rocco Mediate, so it's like, why is he commenting on it? And two is, do you think he actually cared about the guy losing the tournament?
I don't actually care. About
Yeah, like it's like I never really understood it. It's like, yeah, I lost. Why? I don't need to come do interviews.
They don't fine you if you don't. So
Yes, and I didn't win the tournament. Talk to the winner. Why do I have to go do an interview?
I don't know. I think it's still good to get into the mind of that player in that mindset, right? And okay, like what
Yeah,
happened?
get into his
How
mind
did you-
this week when he
I
went and
know.
did what happened last week.
Yeah.
He said what happened. He
I
did
agree.
the interview 3 days later instead of the next
They asked him what
day.
happened this week.
No, I don't think so. The last of that next week, Harv.
Oh, right. And then last piece of news here before we review or go over the live. R.I.P. John Feinstein passed away. Apparently, PGA posted about it. I don't know who he is.
He used to do a lot of work for Golf Channel. Like,
I also don't know who he is.
yeah, he did. Yeah, really
wanted
good
to get
writer.
it in.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
there you
R.I.P.
go.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Live Singapore, won by the #1 golfer in the world,
According to Phil Mickelson.
Joaquin Niemann. According to Phil Mickelson.
And
Well,
him, I think.
the good or bad news for Phil is he's got 1 month here. He can prove it.
Yeah.
Hey, you might get that elusive top 20 at a major.
What? What else did Phil say this week that he doesn't think Scotty's going to win on
16
till
so far.
the Ryder Cup?
He doesn't think he'll win before the Ryder Cup.
Yeah. So he thinks Joaquin Niemann's #1 golfer in the world, and Scotty Scheffler won't win a tournament until after the Ryder Cup this year.
I'll tell you what. One of those two things. Oh no! Wait. No shit.
I mean, it's a full troll job, is what this is.
Yeah.
But he's pretty darn good at it.
He's
I'll tell you
very
that
good at
much.
trolling right now. Might be if he was on this pod, he'd be probably third best, which is pretty good.
Canoop won.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, I can turn it on
He's
whenever
also-
I want.
He also
but I just
sucks
don't.
at it though.
I just don't.
He does.
He just does it the most, so it's a quantity over quality.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Brooks Koepka was second in this. Did you see that video of him hitting that bad shot and saying, "Go back to the Corn Ferry Tour"?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, I think he said that. Yeah, you should be on the Corn Ferry. I've interpreted it as he wants to come back to the PGA and he's got to go to the Corn Ferry in order to do it.
Well, I mean,
He
he
knows
doesn't.
there
saying
is
to
lots of
himself.
rumors that he is leaving.
He shouldn't
But he'd
have
have-
to,
he
because
should.
after this week, he could just walk right on and play whatever tournament he wanted.
I got this on here. Players coming back with no penalty. Quote or
John
quote
Catlin played this week.
quote Chris Canoop. He's the one who reported that.
Well, Catlin played this week, and he was on the live, and he hasn't had a single penalty toward him.
So you're
the-
saying
the
you're
very
saying
first
that no
year-
penalty, as in like they just keep their status from when they left 2 years
Well, no,
ago.
like so some of them had to give up their lifetime membership, but there will be no penalty repaying any of that stuff because Catlin walked on this week because he made it through the DP World Tour and played this week, and there was no repercussions. Nothing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but that's qualifying.
That's
Yes,
qualifying.
I know, but that's
saying-
what I'm saying, right?
I'm
Like,
taking
some
his
of
Corn
those-
Ferry comment as I believe his words were, "Yeah, you should be on the Corn Ferry, not go back." I think he said, "Yeah, you should be on the Corn
Gotcha.
Ferry."
Oh,
I
okay.
took it as, "Yeah, like he's like, yep. When I go back to the PGA, I got to go through the Corn Ferry to get back on." That's what I took it as. Like, yeah, you should be on the Corn
Well, I mean,
Ferry.
why wouldn't he? Probably cleans up down there, wins a couple
Yeah.
times. He's getting in the majors anyways,
Yeah.
and he can pick and choose when he wants to play. Not a bad life for him with the hundreds
Corn
of millions in the
Ferry,
bank.
Yeah.
I also got a kick out of the fact that they posted Brooks Koepka's champions dinner for the Singapore
Yes.
Live, and there's only ever been two champions. So him and Tyler Gooch just had like a nice romantic meal together.
Yikes.
The Fireballs won again, so that's their third win in a row, if anyone's keeping track.
I'm sure.
And the big news apparently lives on DAZN or DAZN or whatever you want to call it going forward. More eyeballs, fellas. And then, yeah, that's it. Corn Ferry Champions, LPGA, DP, World Tour, and Americas had no tournament this week.
Making way for the players.
Just the TGL.
TGL, yes, we
Yeah.
didn't talk about it.
Who-
TGL news.
aren't they, was it tonight and tomorrow, or was it a doubleheader tonight?
No, just tonight and tomorrow, and then final next week. Yep.
Is it starting at 1 o'clock or?
I don't know. 5 o'clock. Well, the only reason why it's 5, like Bruno was getting upset, is that's 7 Eastern with time change, man.
I know.
So
Yeah.
that's
Makes
when
sense.
all sports start right now.
There was
5.
also a couple weeks ago it started at 5 our time before the time change.
Yeah, but now it's
Oh,
prime time.
that was
in
a
the
that was a
States.
double header night. So
That was
it's
a-
6.
Yeah.
That was the
No.
correct time, but I had my kids hockey, so that's why I was upset.
Okay,
It was
okay,
the correct
gotcha.
time.
Yeah.
Like, they
Yeah.
do everything right there.
Yeah, but the number 4 seed, number 4 seed upset number 1. New York beat LA today. New York's won like 5 in a row. They started 0-2. Hot.
They know the technology.
Yeah, it was a
Do you want making the cut or picks?
Making
making the cut, and then we do picks.
Okay,
yeah.
making the cut. So since it was the Players Championship, I did players. So this is 8 professional athletes. You pick 4, lose 4, and those 4 that you don't take are just gone.
Dead.
They never
Like
existed.
scrub. All right.
So you need to wipe out careers, is what you're
We're
saying.
wiping out careers
I
tonight.
like that. Yep.
Okay, so we got Jack Nicklaus,
Wipe them out.
Wayne Gretzky, Barry Bonds, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Djokovic, and Annika Sorenstam.
That's fucking tough.
Okay, so
That's tough.
easy 3 for me.
For wiping?
Yeah. Wipe Jack Nicklaus. Wipe Annika Sorenstam. I got to keep Wayne, Barry, Joker, and Tiger. So who else
Barry?
did I cut?
You mean Brady?
No,
You're
well,
wiping-
wiping Brady, that was my other 3. Yeah, that's 3
And then
easy.
you're wiping Bonds.
Who?
Barry Bonds.
No, I said I'm keeping Barry Bonds.
Well, I think you keep
Wayne,
5.
Barry, Tiger, and Joker.
So
You're getting rid of Brady.
Jack, Brady, Annika, and who's the other one?
Tiger Woods.
Oh, snap.
You can't get rid of him.
Okay, you think. I got mine. Nicholas gone. That's the easiest
Yes,
cut
so
in the
easy.
history of the world.
So is Annika.
Sorenstam gone for me as well. Djokovic. See you later.
Tom Brady gone.
The 4th is the toughest one for me. Probably Bonds because I don't really care about baseball.
Actually,
I need
changed
to
mine.
know your reason why.
I got it, guys.
No, I got it. I'm wiping Wayne Gretzky out.
Just because of his
I'm
shit
keeping
lately.
Tiger, Barry, Joker, and
Woods.
Woods.
Well,
Yep.
you said
Just because
Tiger.
Ovi's
No,
gonna
I said
beat him or
Tiger.
what?
There's a guy I'm missing.
Jordan.
Jordan.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Barry Bonds, and Novak Djokovic. Arguably the 4 best athletes of all time.
Okay, I got mine.
Yeah.
Okay. After these 2 sexists went,
You have to keep
I'm
Annika.
keeping Annika.
You have to.
Dude, absolutely.
yeah,
not.
why not?
LPJ be dead without her. It
Yeah.
wouldn't exist.
That's my number 1
So you're
keep.
telling me I can't wipe out
That's
the
my
other
number
ones?
1. It's my number 1 keep, and my number 1 cut is Djokovic, because then Federer is probably the greatest of all time.
Or is it Nadal though?
But it's still probably Federer. I'm giving it to him in that case. But right now you have to give it to Djokovic, so I'm wiping him out.
I do love Roger, but I like Joker too.
Brady wiped.
That's
Obviously.
I knew that one was gonna be.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes, best of all time.
And
now.
then you guys will love this. I'm wiping Tiger and Jack.
golf doesn't exist.
I'm just 1 better all time. Then 2 better all time.
too bad.
So I'm
I can
keeping
get behind-
keeping Jordan, Bonds, Sorenstam, and whoever's left.
Gretzky.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Kind of paved the way.
Yeah, I could do without Gretzky.
So I'm
Lately.
keeping Annika Sorenstam, like you have to. LPJ wouldn't exist without her. I'm keeping Barry Bonds. I'm keeping Wayne Gretzky. And I'm keeping I don't know,
Tiger
between
Woods.
Jordan and Nicholas that I'm gonna keep.
Well, you're
You
definitely
have to
keeping.
keep Jordan.
He's keeping Nicholas to
Yeah, but
as
Jordan-
a Tiger. Fuck you.
Jordan tortured his Pistons.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. Pistons
I'm
would have
keeping
some
Jack
titles.
Nicklaus. So Jordan's gone, Brady's gone, Tiger's gone, and Djokovic is gone. And the reason is like Brady, like you
So
don't
you-
need 7, man. Like
Yeah,
let
good
someone
list.
else.
Good list.
Woods is gone because like I don't like. I mean, whatever. But it would have been cool to see what that 2000s
would
to
look like,
220
yeah.
what it would look like.
Well, you're a
without him.
Duval guy, so
I'm a Duval and Sergio guy, so that's a thing. Jordan, I'm a LeBron guy, so that makes total sense.
You're a LeBron guy.
Yeah. And Djokovic, same thing. I'd rather see Nadal and Roger have like another 10 each and just
Yeah.
be like way up there.
that was a really good list, other than Brady, because he was cut by all 4.
Well, yeah, like
No,
I,
I didn't-
I had to put
I
him.
didn't cut Brady.
You didn't cut Brady?
No.
Fuck you.
No.
Fuck you.
Yeah, so that was making the cut.
Yep, players.
Pick recap.
Ugh.
Didn't get any better for us, guys.
No.
It didn't get any better for us.
Well, I did great in picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solo.
Canoop, all three of his made the cut. So he got another 7 points.
Yeah.
So he is at 67.
Mm.
And then the three of us only got 3 each. So I had Bridgman made the cut, and you guys both had Tigala make the cut. So it is Canoop 67, Harv 44, MattyB and Bronell 43. We got work.
Still
to do.
early.
Oh, it's
Very
real early.
You
I
never
mean,
want the early
very
game.
early.
those
Sorry, who's second?
me
No, what? Sorry, how many?
44.
44.
20
I just
some
realized
back.
I didn't make picks for this week.
Well, you got time because I got to go first.
You can copy Canoops and then you won't lose ground.
I can't do that. I couldn't sleep at night if I did that.
I'm going to go with Sam Ryder for my first pick. He's like 140-ish, 150, or plus 1,500, 15,000. Yes, plus 15,000. Phillips, somewhere in that same range.
Carl.
Yeah.
Carl.
Big Tiger guy.
And I'm going to go Nick Hogard for a 2. So I got a 3, and Nick Hogard's rounding out my picks this week with a 2. He's been playing really well, so I don't think any experience here, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Well, I can go next if you guys aren't ready.
Well, you are ahead of us.
No. Harv's
I'm
second.
next.
Oh, but
Yep.
I'll go because you're probably not going to copy mine anyways. I'm picking Steven Yeager for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Played well this week.
Thought about it.
I'm going Bo Hostler
Oh, fuck, I was going to pick him too
for
this week.
3. I don't like him, but I'm
That's
going.
not good if you're going to pick the guy
I'm
that I
taking-
hit.
Yeah, I'm taking
Yeah.
Hostler.
Yeah, and I'm going Davis Riley for 3.
3
Okay.
head cuts for you this week.
I'm going.
There's the Jakes.
Guaranteed.
I also had Bo Hostler. I have Adam Hadwin, who I think has won here twice.
Yeah, but been cool lately.
Yep.
Coolish.
And then my other one, I kind of, because we saw him a couple shots on the weekend, Rico Hui.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was
What a
going to
name.
pick him.
He looked funky.
I'm going to take, I'll take the other guy at that plus 9,000. I'll take Seamus Power.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take Danny Walker. Why not?
Red hot.
Interesting, yeah.
And I'm also going to take Chandler Phillips.
Bounce back.
Nice.
Okay. He's way down there.
Why not?
What is it? Like, how many days till the Masters? Like 25 or something? I saw
Yeah,
today.
through less than 4 weeks now.
Yeah. We didn't talk about the bracket again at the start, but that's starting up this week.
They'll know when we post it.
They'll know.
Posting this week. That's your job. You got to interrupt me.
Mm-hmm.
Posting this week?
This week?
Should probably figure out the holes.
Well, I got the first 2 ready,
We'll have to vet those.
and then we'll see what happens after that.
All right.
Yep. You guys got anything else? All right.
Nothing.
Nice long episode. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll be back next week. But until then, it's time for us to hit the clubhouse.